So welcome students. Today we are going to discuss the next topic in second module for the subject environmental impact assessment. In the previous class we discussed what is air pollution. So today we will be discussing what is water pollution. So what is water pollution? So similar to air pollution, water pollution is also the contamination of the water bodies. So water bodies means the lakes, the rivers, the ocean, groundwater, aquifers, etc. So when these water bodies are polluted or contaminated, and this often occurs due to various human activities. So we can say that any chemical, biological or physical change in the quality of the water which has a harmful effect on the living organisms, or that which makes the water unsuitable for use, then we say it is pollution. So and also the pollution of water occurs mainly when the pollutants. So what is a pollutant? A pollutant is something, or it is something which pollutes the air or water. So in the case of water pollution, water pollution mainly occurs when the pollutants, that is any particle or chemical or any substance which contaminates the water, are discharged directly or indirectly into the water bodies without enough treatment. Then we say the water is polluted, or we say this process as water pollution. And again, these pollutants get into the water mainly by various human activities or factors, and water pollution is actually the second most imperative environmental concern, other than along with air pollution, we can say. And any change or modification in the physical, chemical and biological properties that will have a detrimental consequence on the living things, we say it is water pollution. So coming to the two chief sources of water pollution. So before that, we can say that the water pollution may be classified, or we can say it as under two categories. One is groundwater pollution and the other one is surface water pollution. So when we say groundwater pollution, it actually refers to the water that is collected under the earth's surface. So the sources of groundwater, like the rain, the snow, hail, etc. And the groundwater is connected to surface water. Anyway, this groundwater will be connected to surface water like the rivers, streams, lakes, etc. So there is actually a continuous exchange of water between the surface water and the groundwater. So groundwater pollution is actually a change in the properties of the groundwater due to contamination by various chemicals, hazardous substances or other foreign particles, and this is one major type of water pollution. And coming to the surface water pollution, so these are again the natural water resources of the earth, that is surface water, and they are found on the exterior of the earth's crust. Unlike the groundwater, here surface water implies the water that is found on the exterior of the earth's crust, like the rivers, the lakes, the ocean, etc. And pollution of such water resources, we call it as surface water pollution. So pollution of water, again we can say it is classified under two sources. So we can say there are two main sources of water pollution, and one is the point source pollution and the second one is the non-point source pollution. So what do you mean by point source pollution? So there are actually various classifications of water pollution, and the chief classification, or the two chief sources of water pollution, is what we say as point source pollution and non-point source pollution. So what is point source pollution? So here point actually refers to the pollutants that belong to a single source. So whenever the pollutant belongs or comes from a single source, we say this is point source pollution. And one such example for a point source pollution is actually the emissions from the factories. So mostly we can say that the industrial waste and factory waste will be discharged into the water. So this type of pollution from a industry or from a factory into the water bodies, we can say it is a point source pollution, because it refers to contaminations that enter the water through a particular point or particular source. So point source pollution refers to the contaminants that enters a waterway through a discrete conveyance like a pipe or a ditch. So the main examples or some few examples of point source pollution includes discharges from a sewage treatment plant, or like I said, from a factory or an industry, or even a city storm drain. Storm drains from a city also is an example for a point source pollution. And again, pollution of water flowing from a single and identifiable source. We say that it is a single source or which can be identified, such as a discharge pipe from a roadway or a leaking underground storage tank, etc. So in this case, we can identify where exactly the pollutant originates from. And also hazardous and toxic materials from various manufacturing industries that are discharged directly into the water, and that is actually through a pipe or a underground tank. That is how the waste will be, or the sewage will be disposed into the water. So all these comes under the point source pollution. Now coming to the non-point source pollution. So non-point source pollution means here the pollution, this refers to the diffuse of the contamination that does not originate from a single discrete source. So here we can't identify a single discrete source, and non-point source pollution is often the cumulative effect of small amounts of contaminants that are gathered from a larger area. So here it is on a larger scale. We just can't say that it is from a particular location or from a particular discrete source. So such a pollution we term it as the non-point source pollution. For example, the leaching out of nitrogen compounds from agricultural land which has been fertilized, that is one typical example of non-point source pollution. Also the nutrient runoff in the storm water from sheet flow. Suppose in an agricultural field in the event of rain or something, there will be runoff in the storm water. So this may lead to what we say as non-point source pollution. So, and this type of runoff is actually channeled into a drain system, and then it will be discharged through pipes to the local surface waters, and then we can say it is a point source pollution. So we can say that dispersed, this is also termed as a dispersed or non-point source. So it is actually a it is unlike the point source. Here there is no discrete source. So that's such a pollution we call it as a non-point source pollution. And again some other example like acidic runoff from the mining areas is again a dispersed pollution. Suppose there is a area where the mining occurs, there may be runoff of acids. So then again this is also a non-point source pollution. So there are various examples like a non-point source occurs when there is runoff of pollutants into a waterway, like fertilizer from a field. Then it actually may be derived from many different sources with no specific solution. That is what we call it as a non-point source pollution. So again here when we say some examples, the sediment, the nutrients, the microorganisms and toxins which can flow along with the runoff, and also the leaching out of nitrogen compounds, like I said, from a agricultural land which has been fertilized. And there are other pollutants from non-point source pollutions, which include the salt from the irrigation practices or say acid drainage from abandoned mines, etc. So these are all the non-point source pollution. Now coming to the types of water pollution, different types of water pollution. So as you see here, it may be nutrients pollution, surface water pollution, oxygen depletion, groundwater pollution, microbiological pollution, then suspended matter. It may be chemical water pollution, oil spillage, etc. So nutrients pollution. So we know that some wastewater like fertilizers and sewage contains very high levels of nutrients. So if they end up in water bodies, then they encourage algae and weed growth in the water. So like you see in the figure, whenever this fertilizers or some sewage etc. They will end up in water bodies. What happens is, because of the presence of this, it will encourage the growth of algae and weed. So this will make the water unfit for drinking, or it will become undrinkable, and it may even, the water that flows from this particular area can even clog or block the filters. Also, too much algae will also use up the oxygen. All the oxygen that is present in the water will be used by the algae, and other water organisms in this water will die due to lack of oxygen. So this is called, such a type of pollution we call it as nutrient pollution. Coming to surface water pollution. So here, surface water means it includes the natural water that is found on the earth's surface, like the rivers, the lakes, the lagoons, oceans, etc. So hazardous substances coming into contact with the surface water that will dissolve or mix physically with the water, we can call it as a surface water pollution. So next is oxygen, depletion of oxygen. So we know that water bodies will have microorganisms. So these microorganisms may be aerobic microorganisms or anaerobic organisms. So aerobic microorganisms means the organisms which survive in the presence of air, and anaerobic means in the absence of air. So when too much biodegradable matter, or like that, biodegradable means anything that can be easily decayed. So when there is too much biodegradable matter present in water, what happens? It will encourage the growth of more microorganisms, and they will use up more oxygen in the water. So if the oxygen is depleted, what happens? The whole water, that oxygen that is present in the water, will be used by the microorganisms. So then we can say there is depletion of oxygen, that is reduction in the oxygen. Then what happens? The aerobic organisms will die when there is no oxygen, and finally anaerobic organisms will grow. So organisms which can exist in the absence of air, we call it as anaerobic organisms. So they will grow more, and that will produce harmful toxins like ammonia and sulfides. So this is what we call as oxygen depletion, or depleting of oxygen. Now again, coming to groundwater pollution. We know that when humans will apply pesticides, chemicals, etc. into the soil, these will be washed into the ground by when there is rain, etc. And again, this will get into the underground water, which causes the pollution of the groundwater. So that means when we dig wells and bore holes, etc., to get water from underground, we have to check it for groundwater pollution. So here, next coming to microbiological. So we know that in many communities in the world, we know most of the people in many communities in the world, they drink untreated water, that is straight from the river or from a stream. They collect water straight from a river or a stream, and then what happens is, there may be natural pollution which is caused by microorganisms like virus, bacteria, protozoa, etc. So this natural pollution can cause the fishes and also other water life to die. So this type of pollution, we call it as a microbiological pollution. Now coming to the suspended matter. So some pollutants like substances, particles and chemicals, they do not easily dissolve in water. So anything which does not dissolve in water, what happens? It will be suspended in the water. So these type of pollutants, or the materials, these kind of materials, we call them as the particulate matter. So some suspended pollutants will, what happen, later on they will settle under the water body, and this can later harm and even kill the aquatic life that live at the floor of the water bodies. So these suspended matter that is present in the water will settle down, and then that will be harmful to the aquatic life. Now coming to the chemical water pollution. So many industries and farmers, we know that they work with chemicals which finally end up in water. So and this is mainly common with point source pollution. So these includes chemicals that are used to control the say insects, the pests, etc., pesticides that are used to control the pests. So metals and solvents from the industries also can pollute the water bodies. So these are actually poisonous to many forms of aquatic life, and they may slowly, or they will even slow the development of the development and also make them infertile and kill them. So such pollution, we call it as a chemical water pollution. Now coming to various other causes of water pollution, one is the sewage and the wastewater. So sewage, we know sewage is actually the term that is used to refer the wastewater. So wastewater means that which comes from domestic waste. It can be a laundry waste or any other sanitary waste. So the sewage and the uh, water that is produced by each household, that is chemically treated and released into the sea with fresh water. So the sewage water actually carries harmful bacteria and chemicals which can actually cause very serious health problems. And also pathogens means anything which produces a disease. So pathogens are also very one of the most common pollutant of water, which is normally present in a sewage or a wastewater. So this is also one major cause of the water pollution. Also mining activities, we know that mining is actually the process of crushing the rock or say extracting the coal or any other mineral from the underground. So the elements, when they are extracted in the raw form, they contain some harmful chemicals, and it can increase the amount of the toxic elements when it is mixed up with the water, and this may again result in serious health hazards. Then coming to the ocean and marine dumping. So we all know that a lot of rubbish and other waste like food waste, plastic, rubber, metallic, aluminum, etc., they're all deposited into the sea, and all these waste will take up time to decompose. So dumping of waste into the water bodies, marine water bodies, also is a major it's a very major concern, and this is also another cause of water pollution. Now coming to the effects of water pollution. So there are various types of pollutants, and they all have very adverse effect on the environment. So broadly, the effects of water pollutions, like I said, it is varied, and it depends on what chemicals are actually dumped and in which location. So it can be broadly classified like the effects of water pollution. It may be the death of the aquatic water or animals, disruption of the food chains, diseases, and also overall destruction of the ecosystem. Now there are lots of pollutants that causes water pollution, like the organic pollutants, then we have the pathogens, the nutrients, then thermal pollution, radioactive pollutants, suspended solids and sediments, etc. And they have varied effects or impacts on the water, and some of the major impacts are the depletion of the dissolved oxygen in the water. So when the organisms use the oxygen that is already present in water, for example, like I said about the biodegradable waste, so what happens is there will be depletion of oxygen, which will be a serious problem. And when there is no oxygen, what happens? When there is no oxygen in water, that will affect the aquatic life. And also a number of diseases are transmitted by the pathogens that are present in the water. And when the organic matter is also present, the bacterial action increases due to the rise in temperature, and thus this will result in a rapid decrease in the dissolved oxygen. Then also coming to the radioactive pollutants, these also have adverse effects. So they are very toxic to the life forms, and they also accumulate in the bone, teeth, etc., and even can cause serious disorders in humans. Now coming to the suspended solids and sediments, they also have adverse effects on the environment, and that will lead to water pollution due to suspended solids and sediments. The presence of these solids can actually block the sunlight penetration into the water that is required for photosynthesis by the vegetation at the bottom, that is on the bottom level of water. So when there is blockage of sunlight, what happens is that will lead to further problems, and it may also injure the aquatic animals or it can even cause asphyxiation for the aquatic animals. And also one more type of pollutant is the inorganic pollutants. So these pollutants actually include the mineral acids, inorganic salt, metals, etc. They also have an adverse effect on the aquatic flora and fauna of the marine of water, like the sea water or the ocean water, and they also constitute to various public health problems. So these are all the effects of water pollution that is summarized. Thank you.